This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.
In the headlines, Pakistan closes its borders with Afghanistan after deadly clashes leave dozens dead, hundreds stranded in fears of a new war rising in South Asia. U.S. President Donald Trump hints at sending long-range Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine, a move he calls a step of aggression if the war with Russia escalates. Tight security surrounds Forbes Park as Cavite Congressman Kiko Barzaga leads a protest against corrupt officials, vowing to hold daily demonstrations inside exclusive subdivisions. North Korea puts its military might on full display as leader Kim Jong-un marks the 80th anniversary of the Workers' Party with a grand parade at Kim Il-sung Square. In Peru, newly sworn-in President Jose Jerry starts his term with a nationwide raid on 4 major prisons targeting criminal networks operating behind bars. In Cebu, SMNI Foundation continues its relief operations, bringing food and assistance to quake-hit families in Barangay Calanan, Tabogon. Argentine president leads a campaign caravan in Corrientes, drawing both cheers and protests as the country gears up for the legislative elections. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, the pro-government militia Wazalendo inaugurates its new headquarters in Uvira as leaders call for discipline and unity among members. I'm Angel Pastor. Newsline World starts now. Pakistan has sealed several key crossings with Afghanistan after intense cross-border fighting left dozens dead and stranded hundreds of refugees on both sides of the border. Almar Forzuelo files this report.
Heavy changes of fire between Pakistan and Afghan forces over the weekend forced Islamabad to shut major entry points including the Chaman and Turkman crossings, along with smaller posts at Kalarchi, Anggur Ada and Gulam Khan. Hundreds of Afghan citizens and refugees were left stuck at the frontier, unable to move as the situation worsened. One man trapped at the Chaman border described the chaos.
मुलगा से मुश्किलात है
जंग शुरू होलो पाकिस्तान बॉर्डर में बंद थी जित फायर वाली बमबारी में कले पुरानी बमबारी शो वो कले हुआ नो मुश्किलात ढेर थी चूसी दा बॉर्डर खुला है मुद्दा दा वार दा बॉर्डर मतलब खुला है दा ढेर सख्त भी.
Another refugee, Abdul Latif, shared how the violence disrupted their journey. Afghan troops reportedly opened fire on Pakistani positions late Saturday, saying it was in response to earlier airstrikes by Pakistan. Islamabad said it retaliated with heavy gunfire and artillery, with both sides claiming to have destroyed each other's positions. Kabul's defense ministry reported that 58 Pakistani soldiers were killed, while 20 Afghan troops were killed or injured. Although Pakistan has not confirmed any airstrikes, reports indicate its jets targeted a senior leader of the Tehrik-i-Taliban Pakistan, or TTP, in Kabul earlier in the week. Afghanistan leaders said it suspended further attacks following appeals from Qatar and Saudi Arabia, both expressing alarm over the escalating violence. The TTP, which seeks to overthrow Pakistan's government and impose strict Islamic rule, has been accused of operating freely from Afghan soil since the Taliban's takeover in 2021, an allegation denied by Kabul. Reporting for Newsline World, Almar Forzuelo, SMNI News.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is calling on Israelis to set aside their divisions as the country prepares for what he calls a historic event, the release of hostages held in Gaza. Netanyahu made the remarks on Sunday, just hours before Hamas is set to hand over 20 living hostages to the Red Cross, who will transfer them to the Re'im military base in Israel. He said the occasion is one of both joy and sorrow, marking the return of captives, but also the release of Palestinian prisoners, including those convicted of deadly attacks.
זה אירוע היסטורי שמועל עצב על שחרור מרצחים בשמחה על השבת חטופים. זה אירוע היסטורי שהיו כאלה שלא האמינו שיקרה, אבל הלוחמים שלנו האמינו, רבים בעם האמינו, ואני האמנתי. אני יודע שיש הרבה מחלוקות בתוכנו, אבל ביום הזה, ואני מקווה שגם בתקופה שבפתח, יש לנו את כל הסיבות לשים אותן בצד, כי בכוחות משותפים אנחנו השגנו ניצחונות אדירים, ניצחונות שהפליאו את העולם כולו. ואני רוצה להגיד לכם.
Netanyahu said the coming days mark the beginning of a new path, one of rebuilding, healing, and national unity. Under the deal, the bodies of 28 deceased hostages will also be returned. In exchange, around 1,700 Palestinians detained in Gaza since 2023 and 250 serving life sentences are set to be released. The first phase of the deal includes a ceasefire, hostage prisoner swaps, and Israel's military withdrawal to the Yellow Line in Gaza. Later stages, meanwhile, will determine Gaza's governance and reconstruction. Argentine President Javier Milei led a campaign caravan in Corrientes to back national deputy candidate Virginia Gallardo as supporters and protesters faced off ahead of the legislative elections. Erica Rio has more.
President Javier Milei greeted crowds in Corrientes on Friday, joined by Deputy Candidate Virginia Gallardo and his sister Karina Milei, Secretary General of the Presidency. The caravan aimed to rally support for La Libertad Avanza candidates before the October 26 polls.
Donde baja la pobreza, donde baja la indigencia, donde terminamos con los piquetes, donde estamos con la...
While supporters waved Argentine flags and purple balloons, others gathered outside the Turismo Hotel Casino to denounce Milei's visit, accusing him of selling out national interest.
Pero que no tienen ninguna duda en saquear al pueblo, en estafar al pueblo argentino a través de la criptomoneda, a través de las coimas de su hermana con el famoso 3%, a través de los narcos, digamos, como el caso de Esper, en fin, y fundamentalmente a través de la entrega de la riqueza de nuestro país.
The protest came amid growing tensions in his party following the resignation of Buenos Aires candidate José Luis Espert over alleged drug trafficking links. Milei's Corrientes rally marked another stop in his northern tour to boost La Libertad Avanza's presence in Congress as Argentina heads toward the October 26 legislative elections. Erica Rio, your citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
U.S. President Donald Trump says he may send long-range Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine if the war with Russia drags on. Joy Tabanao reports.
U.S. President Donald Trump said Ukraine has long asked for Tomahawk missile, a weapon capable of striking targets up to 2,500 kilometers away, or about 1,500 miles. Each missile cost roughly $1.3 million US. Trump added that he intends to discuss the idea with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
I might say, look, if this war's not going to get settled, I'm going to send them Tomahawks. I may say that. The Tomahawk is an incredible weapon, very offensive weapon.
Trump also admitted that sending Tomahawks to Ukraine would send a bad signal to Russia.
I told that to President Zelensky because Tomahawks are a new step of aggression.
The comments mark one of Trump's strongest warnings yet toward Moscow, even as he maintains that the war can only end through direct talks, addressing what Russia calls the root causes of the conflict, including NATO expansion and the rights of Russian-speaking communities in Ukraine. Russia has accused Ukraine of refusing to negotiate. Putin, on the other hand, has repeatedly said Moscow would respond by strengthening its air defenses, adding that Ukraine troops could not operate such systems without American help. Joy Tabanel, your citizen correspondent reporting for Newsline World.
Up next, tight security surrounds Forbes Park as Cavite Congressman Kiko Barzaga leads a protest against corrupt officials, vowing to hold daily demonstrations inside exclusive subdivisions. And North Korea puts its military might on full display as leader Kim Jong-un marks the 80th anniversary of the Workers' Party with a grand parade at Kim Il-sung Square. Newsline World will be back after the break. Isang pindot lang, pwede kang maka-jackpot. Mukhang masaya at easy money lang. Sa murang halaga, pwede ka na tumaya sa online gambling at e-casino apps. Mayroong sabong, slot machines, mahjong, poker at iba pa. Kailangan mo lang ng smartphone, e-wallet at internet. Pero ang aliw na ito, unti-unting nagiging bitag para sa mga Pilipino. Lalo na kung ang paborito mong artista o influencer ang mukha ng app. Mas madaling makaengganyo, diba? Parang safe naman kasi may kilalang mukha. Pero sa likod ng ngiti, sugal pa rin ang itinutulak. At syempre, mas madali ring itago ang pagkalulong sa bisyong ito. Walang pisikal na kasino o pasugalan, walang kaharap, walang accountability, kaya't mas lumalala ang adiksyon. Dagdag pa rito, maraming online gambling apps at walang regulasyon. Sa likod ng mga makukulay na interface at papremyo, nakatago ang problemang bumabalot ngayon sa bansa. Ang pagkalulong ng maraming Pilipino sa online gambling. Pwede maglaro kahit saan, kahit kailan, kahit sino, bata man o matanda, pwedeng malulong. Ayon sa mga eksperto, ang pagkakalulong sa online gambling ay nagdudulot ng matinding stress at anxiety, pagkakabaon sa utang, pagkawasak ng pamilya, pagkawala ng tiwala sa sarili. At tulad ng ibang bisyo, may mga senyales ito tulad ng hindi makapagpigil kahit walang pera, palihim na tumataya, pagpapabaya sa trabaho, pamilya o sarili. Sa bawat taya, may mga taong tunay na kumikita, mga malalaking negosyante at investors na negosyo ang bisyo ng masa. Para sa kanila, perang pumapasok lang ito. Pero para sa ordinaryong Pilipino, kabuhayan at relasyon ang nauubos. At ang masakit, tila matagal itong nahayaan. Hindi ito naging prioridad ng mga nakaupo sa taas hanggang sa sobrang lumala at halos naapektuhan na ang buong komunidad. Ngayon, sa dami ng nalulung at sa laki ng pinsalang naidulot, sa kapalalong umugong ang mga panukalang batas para higpitan ng online gambling, gaya ng pagbabawal sa paggamit ng e-wallets para tumaya, pagtaas ng minimum bet, mas mahigpit na identity verification, pag-block ng mga illegal na gambling sites, at bawasan o ipagbawal ang mga ads na target ang kabataan. Maaari itong magmukhang laro lang, pero sa katotohanan, isa itong sugal sa kinabukasan. Ang kita na dapat sa mga pangunahing pangangailangan o ipon na uubos sa sugal. At sa mundo ng online gambling, mas madali kang matalo kaysa manalo. Huwag hayaang sugal ang magdikta sa iyong buhay. Isang paalala mula sa SMNI. We're back. Top Philippine officials are stepping up relief operations in Davao region following President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s directive for faster evacuation, closer coordination with the local governments after last week's powerful earthquakes. Officials of the Department of Public Works and Highways, Department of Social Welfare and Development, Department of Education, along with the Mindanao Development Authority, inspected damaged areas in Davao Oriental and Davao de Oro after twin quakes measuring 7.4 and 6.8 hit the region on October 10. They visited hospitals and schools in hard-hit Manay Town and conducted aerial assessment to extent of the damage. Interagency meetings in Mati and Tagum City focused on restoring critical infrastructure. Damage reports. The officials also briefed the media in Davao City, where they presented a consolidated situation report and outlined the immediate actions their agencies are taking to address the needs of affected communities. Forbes Parks and nearby areas were placed under tight police security as Cavite 4th District Representative Kiko Barzaga led a protest against corrupt government officials. Barzaga said they plan to hold similar demonstrations every day in exclusive subdivisions allegedly home to thieving politicians. Jason Rubrico reports.
Authorities heightened security around Forbes Park on Sunday night. Police officers guarded every gate of the exclusive subdivision, while a portion of McKinley Road leading to Forbes was closed to motorists. This is because of the protest against corrupt politician led by Cavite 4th District Representative Kiko Barzaga. Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla personally supervised the security measures and even spoke with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. about the situation.
Sabi niya, take care of the situation. Ayun lang, hindi naman siya nagpapanik. Sabi niya na, take care of the situation, make sure that no one gets hurt. So, kaya nandito sila. Everybody has a right to air their grievances. Para hindi kami papayag sa anarchy, hindi kami papayag sa violence.
Congressman Barzaga arrived at the Buendia gate of Forbes Park at around 11 o'clock in the evening, accompanied by a group of protesters.
Kailangan talaga ito ng bansa natin. If we do not show, not just the local community but the international community, that there is chaos and there is corruption within our system, then there will be no change. Hindi natin pwedeng ulit-ulitin lang yung mga nangyari for the past few years, ever since Marcos sat down and Romualdez became speaker, lahat ng ito, this has only been getting worse and worse at hindi natin pwedeng hayaan lang ito. At some point, we have to say it has to stop.
Barzaga insisted that they held the protest in Forbes Park because, according to him, this is where the thieves of the nation's coffers reside, including Martin Romualdez and Saldico.
Kasi dito yung mga magnanakaw, ito yung na-implicate na bahay ni Romualdez, ni Saldico. So, ito yung mismong tinatarget namin. Ayaw naman namin magaya sa Nepal na susunugin yung parliamentary building because that will just end up causing more chaos in our government. Ang gusto lang namin, ang target lang namin yung mga magnanakaw, no one else, not the businessmen, not the good government officials. We just want our money back and the people imprisoned.
And when asked if they plan to hold protests every day, Congressman gave a firm response.
Yes, every day. Pero yung bukas, yung next day, surprise, hindi ko sasabihin kung saan subdivision, hindi ko sasabihin kung ilan kami, hindi ko sasabihin kung ano oras. It's just surprise and sila na bahala. If they want to protect kung gusto na protektahan yung mga magnanakaw dito at yung mga magnanakaw na nakatira sa mga mamahaling subdivision, sa mga private subdivision na mga 200, 300 million per lot or yung iba mga 1 billion per lot, then that's fine. That would be perfectly okay. But para sa akin lang, we have to protect the interests of the Filipino people over the interest of corrupt politicians. That's why we're targeting the private homes of the corrupt instead of the public offices where they steal the money from. Kasi doon ninakaw lang na yung pera, pero dito na dinadala.
Reporting for Newsline World, I am Jason Rubrico, SMNI News.
The Department of Budget and Management is fast-tracking the release of 145 million pesos in financial assistance for communities affected by the recent earthquakes in Mindanao. Budget Secretary Amina Pangandaman says the funding will come from the Local Government Support Fund to help local governments deliver relief and begin rehabilitation. Families who lost relatives in the disaster may receive up to 150,000 pesos in assistance. The 145 million pesos will be allocated as follows: 50 million to Davao Oriental, 15 million each to Davao de Oro, Davao del Norte, Surigao del Sur, Surigao del Norte, and Dinagat Islands, and 20 million to Agusan del Sur. The DBM previously released over 2.3 billion pesos to replenish the quick response funds of the Department of Social Welfare and Development and the Department of Public Works and Highways as part of the government's broader commitment to swift and sustained disaster recovery. North Korea showcased its military might in a grand parade at Kim Il-sung Square in Pyongyang to mark the 80th anniversary of the ruling Workers' Party of Korea. Prince Tripoli for the rest of the story.
The celebration turned the capital into a massive stage of power and symbolism as North Korean leader Kim Jong-un led the commemoration on Friday. Long rows of soldiers and military vehicles filled the square, featuring what state media describe as the country's most powerful nuclear strategic weapon system, the Hwasong-20 intercontinental ballistic missile. The event was attended by prominent foreign dignitaries, including Chinese Premier Li Qiang, Vietnamese Communist Party Chief To Lam, and Russia's Security Council Deputy Chairman Dmitry Medvedev, underscoring Pyongyang's growing ties with its allies. According to Korean Central News Agency or KCNA, troops of the Korean People's Army who took part in the Kirk's operation marched proudly alongside national and Russian flags, a symbolic gesture highlighting military camaraderie. A day before the parade, Medvedev extended his gratitude to Kim Jong-un and Democratic People's Republic of Korea or DPRK soldiers, commending their heroism during the liberation of the Kursk region. The Workers' Party of Korea, founded on the 10th of October 1945, has remained at the core of the country's political and ideological foundation since the liberation from Japanese occupation, guiding the DPRK's direction for 8 decades. I'm Prince Tripoli, your citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
When we come back, in Peru, newly sworn-in President Jose Jerry starts his term with a nationwide raid on 4 major prisons targeting criminal networks operating behind bars. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, the pro-government militia Wazalendo inaugurates its new headquarters in Uvira as leaders call for disciplined unity among members. Don't go away, Newsline World will be back.
Sa kabila ng mga mas modernong kaalaman at teknolohiya, nananatiling matindi ang banta ng HIV sa Pilipinas. Pero gaano nga ba kalala ang sitwasyon? Ang HIV o Human Immunodeficiency Virus ay isang sakit na sumisira sa immune system ng katawan. Ngunit tandaan, hindi ito nakukuha sa simpleng pakikisalamuha. Hindi mo agad mararamdaman, pero unti-unti nitong pinapahina ang katawan. At kapag hindi naagapan, humahantong ito sa AIDS, ang huling yugto na impeksyon, kung saan halos wala ng panlaban ng katawan laban sa sakit. Patuloy na dumadami ang kaso ng sakit na ito sa Pilipinas. Isang nakababahalang pagtaas. Umabot na sa 500% ang itinaas ng HIV cases sa mga kabataang edad 15 hanggang 25. Ayon mismo sa Department of Health, 56 na bagong kaso ang naitatala kada araw sa bansa mula Enero hanggang Marso 2025. At ang pinakamatinding apektado, ang kalalakihan at kabataang Pilipino. Dahil dito, ang Pilipinas na ngayon ang may pinakamataas na bilang ng bagong kaso ng HIV sa buong Western Pacific region. Isang indikasyon ng lumulubahang sitwasyon. Kaya nananawagan ng Department of Health gawing opisyal at urgent ang laban sa HIV sa pamamagitan ng isang Public Health Emergency Declaration. Kalalakihan ng pangunahing apektado. 95% ng bagong kaso ay lalaki. Mahigit 1/3 ay kabataang nasa edad 15 hanggang 24. Habang wala pang deklarasyon, patuloy ang DOH sa mga sumusunod na hakbang: HIV testing, libreng gamot, self-test kits, at pakikipagtulungan sa DepEd para sa edukasyon sa mga paaralan. Isinulong rin ng DOH ang online patient appointment system para sa HIV patients. Layunin nitong gawing mas madali at mas personal ang pag-access sa libreng gamutan at konsultasyon ayon sa schedule ng pasyente. Ang HIV ay hindi tulad ng flu. Hindi ito basta naipapasa sa hangin. Ito ay naipapasa sa pamamagitan ng personal na desisyon. Kailangan din nating pagtuunan ng pansin ang ugali, disiplina, at personal na responsibilidad. Isang paalala mula sa SMNI.
Hala, magnanakaw!
Magnanakaw! Magnanakaw!
Uy, magnanakaw!
Magnanakaw! Magnanakaw!
Ano kayang gagawin ko? Ipamimigay ko yung konti para tumigil sila sa pag-iingay.
Pare, magnanakaw, namimigay ng pera.
Ito ang sayo.
Wow! Ang bait ng magnanakaw!
Ito naman sayo.
Kuya, yung
eto
share ko! Sana
Huwag ka nang maingay. Eto pa. Tama na yan. Nakikipalato lang kayo eh. Huwag nang maingay. Di ba? Konti lang pinamigay ko, mabait na ako. Tahimik na sila. Easy. Ngayon, pwede ko na tong suluhin.
Masaya ang mga tao, pero tama po ba ito? Di po ba ang nakikinabang sa magnanakaw ay kasabwat ng magnanakaw?
Ikaw, kinukonsenti mo ba ang legal na korupsyon?
Peru's newly sworn-in President Jose Heri started his term with a massive anti-crime operation in 4 major prisons aimed at dismantling criminal networks operating behind bars. More details from Eve Buenafe.
President Heri was seen touring Ancon 1 prison north of Lima, his first official act since assuming office on the 10th of October. The operation targeted Ancon 1, Lurigancho, Trujillo, and Chalapalca prisons, facilities known for being hotspots of criminal activity. Authorities displayed confiscated contraband including cell phones, SIM cards, drugs, and improvised weapons used in extortion and contract killings. More than 200 special operations agents supported by K9 units took part in the simultaneous searches.
Por disposición del presidente de la República, se ha hecho una requisa extraordinaria en 4 penales a nivel nacional. Penal de Chayapalca, penal de Trujillo, penal de Lurigancho y este penal Ancón 1. ¿No? Se practicó una requisa extraordinaria para poder combatir la delincuencia, sobre todo sicariato, criminalidad organizada, y porque sabemos pues que hay criminalidad que sale del penal hacia afuera, ¿no? Y eso es lo que hemos hecho para tratar de encontrar, ¿no? O requisar instrumentos o artefactos prohibidos.
Heri, who recently declared a war on crime, has made public security his top priority, ranking it above corruption in national service. The interim president assumed office after Congress removed Dina Boluarte. Under the Constitution, as head of Congress, Jerry will lead the country until new elections in April 2026. Authorities say the sweep is only the first phase of a broader strategy to restore public confidence and dismantle organized crime networks operating from behind bars. Eve Buenafe, your citizen correspondent reporting for Newsline World.
In the Democratic Republic of Congo, the pro-government militia group Wazalendo has inaugurated its new headquarters in Uvira as local leaders call for unity, discipline, and accountability among its members. This story from Paul Montebon.
Wazalendo fighters and residents gathered on Saturday in celebration as the group officially opened its new command center in Uvira. The event featured singing and dancing as the group's general staff took office in the presence of government officials. Uvira's interim mayor, Kefara Kapenda Swahi, commended the Wazalendo for defending the city during the absence of regular troops, but also warned after infiltration within the ranks.
Ça, à tous les Wazalendo, félicitations. Puisque c'est vrai, mulikuwa na njaa, hamukuwa organize puisque pako avance leo, mais mulibakia Wazalendo kwa kuonesha kama munapenda nini. Munapenda nchi yenu, munapenda Uvira yenu. Et ça c'est positif. Mais sasa imewezekana kama Uvira mizuri tulienda pako pia uliingiliwa pia na wafoo Wazalendo.
Representing the Wazalendo political framework, Joseph Muhango reminded members of their responsibility to uphold order and discipline under the arm reserved for defense.
Sisi Wazalendo tuko regi na RAD. RAD ndio kiongozi wetu na ndio couverture yetu. Chenye nitaomba kwa Kordo Alexi, mkubwa wetu wa RAD, watusaidie sana kwa kumaterialize RAD. RAD ifanye kazi kama vilivyo, sababu kama gisi president alisema huko maderapage de toute part. Hatutaendelea kutolere wale ambao wanakuwa wananyanyasa watu.
Mohango also urged members to embody true patriotism by respecting and protecting citizens. Colonel Bolonvo Misui Deposte, who was appointed to strengthen ties between the armies and civilians, echoed calls for cooperation and mutual respect, saying soldiers must see civilians as allies, not adversaries.
Kwenye tuko tunaarifia uhusiano wetu kwa sababu maongezi wala uhusiano yani collaboration ingali kidogo sana kati yetu FRDC na Wazalendo y compris na raia. Oro si wanajeshi wakati wanazungumza juu wanajeshi ni kila mtu mwenye iko na silaha. Tuko sawa vile samaki ndani ya nini? Ndani ya maji. Estetike ya maji ni samaki. Tajiri haiwezi kuwa maji ya mzuri kama haina samaki. Raia ni maji na jeshi ni samaki. Hivi yetu tunapaswa kujua kama raia ni partenere wa jeshi, c'est-à-dire wa FRDC, wa Wazalendo na wengine wote wenye iko na esprit ya nini? Ya patriotisme. Tusikamate raia sa vile ni adui. Tusikamate raia sa vile ni shamba. Tusikamate raia sa vile kitu moja bure. Raia ndio ananunua hii silaha zenye tuko nazo. Raia ndio ananunua hii mavazi yenye tuko nayo. Raia ndio anatukulisha.
The Wazalendo, meaning patriots in Swahili, have been key allies of the Congolese military in the fight against the M23 rebellion. However, recent reports accuse the group of human rights abuses in Uvira, including alleged beatings, killings, and extortion against villagers, claims that surfaced following the appointment of General Olivier Gasita as head of the 33rd Military Region in South Kivu. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Paul Montebon, SMNI News.
Iran has temporarily suspended its cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency, or IAEA, UN's nuclear watchdog, halting implementation of the Cairo Agreement that would have allowed renewed inspections of its nuclear sites. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi confirmed the move on state television, saying cooperation was not fully severed but put on hold until what he called fair proposals are presented that protect Iran's national rights. Araghchi stressed that suspension of the Cairo Agreement is only temporary. The Cairo Agreement, signed in September, had aimed to restore IAEA access after Tehran blocked inspections following Israeli and U.S. airstrikes in June. But the deal lost significance after Britain, France, and Germany triggered the return of UN sanctions on Iran, effectively reviving penalties lifted under the 2015 nuclear accord. Araghchi said Iran now sees no reason to continue nuclear talks with the Europeans, declaring that Tehran has no basis for further negotiations. Western nations have long accused Tehran of secretly pursuing nuclear weapons. Tehran, however, denies such claims, insisting its program is civilian in nature and permitted under the 1968 Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. The Trump administration tried to restart nuclear talks earlier this year, but those efforts collapsed after Israeli strikes on Iranian nuclear and military facilities. The officials also briefed the media In other news, a weekend air show event in California turned into a terrifying scene when a helicopter went down in Huntington Beach injuring 5 people. Authorities say the aircraft was linked to a local cars and copters event set for the following day. James San Pedro has more on this.
5 people injured after helicopter crash in Huntington Beach, California over the weekend. According to officials, the incident happened around 2 p.m. local time in a beach parking lot located between Twin Dolphins Drive and Beach Boulevard. Videos taken by bystanders showed the wreckage of the helicopter lodged in a palm tree near in a hotel. 2 passengers aboard the helicopter were immediately rescued from the debris, while 3 others on the ground were also injured. All victims were rushed to nearby hospitals. According to city officials, the crashed helicopter was connected to the event called Cars and Copters, which was scheduled to take place a day after the incident. Witnesses said the helicopter's tail rotor appeared to have broken off before it went down. Although the helicopter did not burst into flames, fuel was leaking from the wreckage. The Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board had been notified and will be conducting investigation to determine the cause of the crash. Reporting for Newsline World, James San Pedro, SMNI News.
The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, or CAAP, is warning airlines and pilots to exercise extra caution when flying near active volcanoes. The advisory comes after new volcanic activity was observed in Bulusan, Canlaon, and Taal. CAAP has released the latest notices to airmen covering airspace restrictions around 3 volcanoes currently showing signs of unrest. The advisories aim to ensure the safety of all flights operating near Bulusan in Sorsogon, Canlaon in Negros Island, and Taal in Batangas. For Bulusan Volcano in Sorsogon, restricted airspace is in effect from October 13, 8:22 a.m. to October 14, 9 a.m., covering altitudes up to 10,000 feet. For Canlaon Volcano near or in Negros Island, the advisory runs October 13, 8:15 a.m. to October 14, 9 a.m. up to 11,000 feet. For Taal Volcano in Batangas, the NOTAM is effective October 13, 8:17 a.m. to October 14, 9 a.m., also up to 11,000 feet. CAAP strongly urge pilots to avoid flying near volcano summits and to monitor official notices to airmen bulletins for updates. The agency assures the public that it remains on high alert and continues to coordinate with relevant agencies to safeguard all flights amid ongoing volcanic activity.
Maging ligtas, maging handa. Narito ang ilang paalala kung sakaling tumama ang lindol. Maghanda ng emergency kits na may lamang flashlight, pito, first aid kit, tubig at pagkain. Alamin ang emergency exits sa inyong bahay, paaralan o opisina. Habang lumilindol, magtago sa ilalim ng matibay na lamesa upang maprotektahan ang sarili sa mga nahuhulog na bagay. Lumayo sa mga bintana at mabibigat na gamit na maaaring mahulog. Kung ikaw ay nasa labas, lumayo sa mga gusali, puno o poste na maaaring matumba. Kung ikaw ay nagmamaneho, itabi at ihinto ang sasakyan at lumabas. Pagkatapos ng lindol, gamitin ang hagdan sa paglabas ng gusali at huwag gumamit ng elevator. Maging alerto sa aftershocks at manatili sa open space kung kinakailangan. Maging ligtas at maging handa sa anumang sakuna. Ang paalalang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng SMNI.
Maging alerto at handa tuwing may bagyo. Upang manatiling ligtas, narito ang ilang mahahalagang paalala. Manatili sa loob ng bahay. Iwasan ang paglabas, lalo na kung malakas ang ulan at hangin. Mag-imbak ng pagkain at malinis na tubig. Maghanda ng emergency kit. Manatiling updated sa lagay ng panahon. Maghanda ng mga flashlight at extra baterya. Panatilihing fully charged ang iyong cellphone. I-secure ang mahahalagang dokumento sa waterproof na lalagyan. Patayin ang kuryente, gas at tubig kung may banta ng pagbaha. Alamin ang iyong local emergency hotlines. Putulin o tapyasan ang mga sanga ng puno na maaaring mabuwal sa malakas na ulan at hangin. Lumikas agad kung inabisuhan ng mga otoridad. Maging ligtas at maging handa sa panahon ng kalamidad. Ang paalalang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng SMNI.
Ikaw ba ay namomroblema sa taas ng electric bill buwan-buwan? Huwag mag-alala, narito ang ilang paraan upang makatipid sa kuryente. Patayin ang mga ilaw at appliances kapag hindi ginagamit. Sa halip ay gumamit ng natural na liwanag upang makatipid sa kuryente. Tanggalin sa saksakan ang mga appliances kung hindi ginagamit. Iwasan ang paggamit ng maraming appliances ng sabay-sabay. Gumamit ng LED bulbs. Ito ay mas tipid sa kuryente kumpara sa mga incandescent at fluorescent bulbs. Regular na linisin ang mga appliances tulad ng electric fan, aircon vents at refrigerator. Magkaroon ng tagdang araw sa isang linggo sa pamamalansya at paglalaba. Gumamit ng energy-efficient appliances. Tandaan, maging wais sa paggamit ng kuryente upang makatipid para mas gumaan ang buhay. Ang paalalang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng SMNI.
The Department of Health, or DOH, is urging the public to stay calm following the suspension of face-to-face classes in Metro Manila due to rising cases of influenza-like illnesses. The move is a precautionary measure to allow schools to undergo disinfection, sanitation, and safety inspections. The DOH assured the public that there is no cause for alarm following the recent suspension of classes due to the rising cases of influenza-like illnesses, or ILIs. Face-to-face classes in public schools across Metro Manila are suspended from October 13 to 14 for disinfection, sanitation, and building inspections. DOH NCR says the measure is preventive and should not alarm the public, even as it coincides with a spike in ILI cases and the potential risk of earthquakes. In fact, ILI cases from January to September 7 this year are reportedly 8% lower compared to the same period last year, according to Health Department spokesperson ASEC Albert Domingo. Despite the advisory, the agency explained that it is normal to see a rise in ILI cases during the cold season. Common symptoms include fever, cough, sore throat, colds, and body aches. Are you a business owner? Tired of the hassle of sending packages? Do you have posters that need printing or documents that must reach overseas fast? Or maybe you want to simplify your business operations from logistics to marketing all in one place? You don't have to look far. Everything you need can now be handled in one hub. One of the biggest names in global logistics and business services, mailboxes, etc., has officially arrived in the Philippines, offering end-to-end services designed to help MSMEs and professionals streamline their operations and take their business to the next level. Let's find out more about this with Carlo de la Peña.
A new era for business services has arrived in Manila with the launch of Mailboxes Etc's first ever branch in the Philippines on Friday, October 10th. Located in Malate, Manila, the pilot store of MBE Philippines offers a one-stop center for essential daily business needs such as logistics, printing, and mail handling. Charmaine Fulgencio, Vice President for Operations and Marketing of MBE Philippines, says the opening aims to empower local MSMEs, helping them operate more efficiently and stay competitive on the global stage. But what exactly is Mailboxes Etc. or MBE? It is a global business solutions provider originally founded in Milan, Italy in 1980. Over the past 4 decades, MBE has expanded its network to more than 1,800 service centers in over 50 countries worldwide.
We offer pack and ship, e-commerce and fulfillment, private mailbox rentals, and also marketing and print. We can offer everything. So yung mga needs nila and Based on DTI, no, mga 95% yung MSMEs here in the Philippines. So we want to help them grow.
Our customers may option sila when it comes to courier. So we don't just provide one courier. May flexible siya. They can choose which one fits them, what they need. So as of now, UPS yung major partner namin, but eventually we will have DHL, FedEx.
The company also provides professional packing services, ensuring that packages reach their destination safely and securely. In fact, staff members received specialized training at MBE's headquarters in Italy to master proper packing techniques. MBE is also set to support overseas Filipino workers who need to send parcels or documents to their families abroad. Looking ahead, the company plans to expand its services across Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao in the coming months and years.
This year, we will open 2 more stores. So hopefully by December or early next year, And we will add 3 more stores by 2026 and expand nationwide for the next 10 years.
For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, this is Carlo de la Peña, SMNI News.
For our sports update, Australia's dominance in women's cricket reached new heights at the World Cup thanks to captain Alyssa Healy, who once again proved why she's one of the game's fiercest competitors. Meanwhile, Coco Gauff added another milestone to her remarkable 2025 season, defeating fellow American Jessica Pegula in straight sets to claim the Wuhan Open Championship. Carlo de la Peña reports.
Australia completed a remarkable chase of 330 to beat India by 3 wickets in the Women's World Cup, thanks to a captain's knock from Alyssa Healy. The wicketkeeper batter produced a stunning 142 off 107 balls, blasting 21 fours and 3 sixes to anchor the innings and turn what seemed an impossible task into a memorable triumph. The victory marks Australia's highest ever run chase in women's one-day internationals and restores the record for the biggest successful pursuit in the format. It also highlights Healy's return to form after 6 innings in India without passing 30. Healy admitted she had been frustrated with her rhythm in the nets, but said her competitive instincts took over once the match began. Her leadership and composure under pressure proved crucial in replacing former skipper Meg Lanning, steering the team to new heights. Australia's latest success strengthens their belief that they can win from any position, coming just days after a comeback victory over Pakistan despite being 76-7. With matches against Bangladesh and rivals England still ahead, Healy and her team are now firmly on course for another semi-final appearance and perhaps another World Cup title. Meanwhile, 2 years after celebrating a doubles title together in Miami, Coco Gauff and Jessica Pegula face each other as singles rivals in the Wuhan Open final. This time it was Gauff who prevailed, winning 6-4, 7-5 in 1 hour and 42 minutes to secure her 11th career WTA singles title and her second this year following her French Open triumph. Gauff became the first player to go 9-0 in hard-court finals and first to win the Wuhan Open without dropping a set. She dominated throughout the tournament, losing only 25 games on her way to the championship. During the trophy presentation, Gauff thanked Pegula for her friendship and support, recalling how her compatriot was among the first to welcome her on tour. She also joked about not wanting the match to reach a 3rd set, saying, "You're the 3-set queen, so I had to finish it in 2. With the Wuhan victory, Gauff completed a sweep of China's 2 WTA 1000 tournaments, adding the title to her previous China Open triumph and strengthened her hold on the world number 3 ranking ahead of the WTA finals in Riyadh next month. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Carlo de la Peña, bringing you the latest sports news.
Sa kabila ng mga mas modernong kaalaman at teknolohiya, nananatiling matindi ang banta ng HIV sa Pilipinas. Pero gaano nga ba kalala ang sitwasyon? Ang HIV o Human Immunodeficiency Virus ay isang sakit na sumisira sa immune system ng katawan. Ngunit tandaan, hindi ito nakukuha sa simpleng pakikisalamuha. Hindi mo agad mararamdaman, pero unti-unti nitong pinapahina ang katawan. At kapag hindi naagapan, humahantong ito sa AIDS, ang huling yugto na impeksyon, kung saan halos wala ng panlaban ng katawan laban sa sakit. Patuloy na dumadami ang kaso ng sakit na ito sa Pilipinas. Isang nakababahalang pagtaas. Umabot na sa 500% ang itinaas ng HIV cases sa mga kabataang edad 15 hanggang 25. Ayon mismo sa Department of Health, 56 na bagong kaso ang naitatala kada araw sa bansa mula Enero hanggang Marso 2025. At ang pinakamatinding apektado, ang kalalakihan at kabataang Pilipino. Dahil dito, ang Pilipinas na ngayon ang may pinakamataas na bilang ng bagong kaso ng HIV sa buong Western Pacific region. Isang indikasyon ng lumulubahang sitwasyon. Kaya nananawagan ng Department of Health gawing opisyal at urgent ang laban sa HIV sa pamamagitan ng isang Public Health Emergency Declaration. Kalalakihan ng pangunahing apektado. 95% ng bagong kaso ay lalaki. Mahigit 1/4 ay kabataang nasa edad 15 hanggang 24. Habang wala pang deklarasyon, patuloy ang DOH sa mga sumusunod na hakbang: HIV testing, libreng gamot, self-test kits, at pakikipagtulungan sa DepEd para sa edukasyon sa mga paaralan. Isinulong rin ng DOH ang online patient appointment system para sa HIV patients. Layunin nitong gawing mas madali at mas personal ang pag-access sa libreng gamutan at konsultasyon. Ayon sa schedule ng pasyente, ang HIV ay hindi tulad ng flu. Hindi ito basta naipapasa sa hangin. Ito ay naipapasa sa pamamagitan ng personal na desisyon. Kailangan din nating pagtuunan ng pansin ang ugali, disiplina, at personal na responsibilidad. Isang paalala mula sa SMNI.
Madalas ka bang napapasobra sa pag-scroll sa phone mo kahit puro masasamang balita ang nakikita mo? Isipin mo ito. Nakahiga ka na sa kama, nagche-check lang ng phone bago matulog. Tapos, hindi mo na malayan, ilang oras ka na palang nagbabasa at nanonood ng mga balita tungkol sa digmaan, sakuna, politika, at lahat ng masasamang nangyayari sa mundo. Nakakaramdam ka na ng kaba at pagod, pero tuloy mo pa rin ang scroll mo. Ang tawag dyan ay doom scrolling. Ito ang habit ng paulit-ulit na pagtingin sa mga negatibo o nakaka-depress na content tulad ng digmaan, krimen, o problema sa mundo. Nakaka-stress, pero hindi mo pa rin mapigilan. Ayon sa isang pag-aaral ng Texas Tech University, ang sobrang konsumo ng masasamang balita ay nauugnay sa pagtaas ng stress, anxiety at pisikal na sintomas gaya ng pagkapagod at sakit ng ulo. Ayon naman sa Harvard Health, ang doom scrolling ay nagpapataas ng fight or flight hormones tulad ng cortisol at adrenaline na nakakapagpabigat ng isip at katawan. Nakakaapekto ito sa iyong mood, tulog at maging sa mental at physical health mo. At kapag naman puro memes at random na content ang pinapanood mo ng sunod-sunod hanggang sa mawalan ka na ng gana na mag-isip at gumawa ng iba pang gawain, ang tawag naman dyan ay brain rot. Sa Gen Z at tinatawag na internet culture, ang brain rot ay overconsumption o sobrang tagal na panonood ng paulit-ulit, mababaw, magulo o walang saysay na content online hanggang sa parang manhid na ang utak mo. Kapag nasobrahan, syempre, nakakasama. Nawawalan ka na ng focus, nawawala ang motivation, hirap mag-isip ng malalim, parang lutang o foggy ang utak. Masaya sa simula, pero kapag sobra, napapagod ang isip mo. Nahihirapang mag-concentrate at parang lutang. Mas delikado pa ito sa mga bata dahil ang utak nila ay nasa proseso pa ng pag-develop. Kaya mas malakas ang epekto ng doom scrolling at brain rot sa kanila. Maaaring makaapekto sa pag-aaral, pag-iisip at pakikitungo sa iba.
ang higit sa 4 na oras ng screen time araw-araw sa mga kabataan ay konektado sa 35 to 88% na mas mataas na posibilidad ng depresyon, anxiety at stress. Base ito sa isang malawakang pag-aaral sa Brazil. Kaya, maging balanse. Magpahinga sa screen. Magbasa. Makipagkwentuhan. Magdasal. Maging present lagi. Alagaan ang iyong isipan. Kung anong itinatanim sa isipan mo, yun ang lalago.
Sa panahon ng tagulan, hindi lang baha at ulan ang dapat bantayan, kundi pati na rin ang mga sakit na pwedeng makahawa. At dahil ngayon ay rainy season, nagbabala ang Department of Health laban sa tinatawag na wild diseases. 4 na klase ng sakit na karaniwang nakukuha ng tao tuwing maulan. Ito ang W o waterborne diseases gaya ng pagdudumi o gastroenteritis. I o influenza-like illnesses gaya ng sipon, ubo at lagnat. L o leptospirosis na maaaring makuha mula sa ihi ng mga daga sa baha. At D o dengue na dala ng mga lamok. Kapag baha, mas mabilis kumalat ang mikrobyo, kaya't ugaliin ang paghuhugas ng kamay at agad maligo matapos lumusong sa baha. Ano ang dapat gawin para maiwasan ang wild diseases? Tumutok sa weather updates. Magsuot ng kapote at bota. Siguraduhing malinis ang iniinom na tubig. Agad kumonsulta sa health center kung may nararamdamang sintomas. Mainam din gawin ang 40 o taob, taktak, tuyo at takip para maiwasan ang dengue sa bahay at komunidad. Maglinis, magmasid, mag-ingat. Labanan ang wild diseases ngayong tag-ulan. Ang paalalang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng SMNI.
Pasasaan pa ang kalayaan kung ang mga alipin ngayon ay sila din naman mang-aalipin bukas.
Ibigin mo ang iyong bayan ng sunod kay Bathala, sa iyong kapurihan at higit sa lahat sa iyong sarili.
Hindi natin mapapalaya ang ating mga sarili maliban kung sumunong tayo na nagkakaisa sa iisang hangarin.
Ang tunay na makabayan ay ang tumutupad ng pagpapabuti ng kanyang mga kapwa, gaano man kaaba ang kanyang katungkulan. Naway magsilbing paalala ang kanilang mga salita upang lalo nating mahalin at tapat na paglingkuran ang minamahal nating inang bayan.
Hoy, magnanakaw! Tingin! Pulis ka! Hala, magnanakaw!
Magnanakaw! Magnanakaw!
Uy, magnanakaw!
Magnanakaw! Magnanakaw!
Ano kayang gagawin ko? Ipamimigay ko yung konti para tumigil sila sa pag-iingay.
Pare, magnanakaw, namimigay ng pera.
Ito ang sayo.
Wow! Ang bait ng magnanakaw!
Ito naman sayo.
Kuya, yung
eto
share ko! Sana
Huwag ka nang maingay. Eto pa. Tama na yan. Nakikipalato lang kayo eh. Huwag nang maingay. Diba? Konti lang pinamigay ko, mabait na ako. Tahimik na sila. Easy. Ngayon, pwede ko na tong suluhin.
Masaya ang mga tao, pero tama po ba ito? Di po ba ang nakikinabang sa magnanakaw ay kasabwat ng magnanakaw?
Ikaw, kinukonsenti mo ba ang legal na korupsyon?
Maging ligtas, maging handa. Narito ang ilang paalala kung sakaling tumama ang lindol. Maghanda ng emergency kits na may lamang flashlight, pito, first aid kit, tubig at pagkain. Alamin ang emergency exits sa inyong bahay, paaralan o opisina. Habang lumilindol, magtago sa ilalim ng matibay na lamesa upang maprotektahan ang sarili sa mga nahuhulog na bagay. Lumayo sa mga bintana at mabibigat na gamit na maaring mahulog. Kung ikaw ay nasa labas, lumayo sa mga gusali, puno o poste na maaaring matumba. Kung ikaw ay nagmamaneho, itabi at ihinto ang sasakyan at lumabas. Pagkatapos ng lindol, gamitin ang hagdan sa paglabas ng gusali at huwag gumamit ng elevator. Maging alerto sa aftershocks at manatili sa open space kung kinakailangan. Maging ligtas at maging handa sa anumang sakuna. Ang paalalang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng SMNI.
Sa tuwing bumabaha, hindi lang seguridad ang nalalagay sa alanganin, pati na rin ang kalusugan. Isa sa mga bantang dapat iwasan, ang leptospirosis. Ano nga ba ito? Ito ay isang sakit na dulot ng bakterya na tinatawag na leptospira. Nakukuha ito sa pamamagitan ng kontak sa ihi ng mga hayop na may leptospira tulad ng mga daga. Pwede itong makuha sa pagsulong sa baha o pag-inom ng kontaminadong tubig. Nakakapasok ito sa katawan sa pamamagitan ng mga sugat, mata, ilong o bibig. Ang mga sintomas nito ay lagnat, mapulang mata, hirap umihi, masakit na tiyan, masakit na kalamnan, at masakit na ulo. Paano nga ba maiiwasan ang leptospirosis? Ugaliin ang tamang pagtatapon ng basura dahil ang mga maruruming lugar ang kadalasang pinupuntahan ng dagang may dalang leptospirosis. Iwasang lumusong, maglaro o lumangoy sa baha, lalo na kapag may sugat. Gumamit ng bota at gloves kung hindi maiiwasang lumusong sa tubig baha. Sumpuin ang mga daga sa bahay at panatilihin ang kalinisan sa komunidad. Hugasan ng malinis na tubig at sabon ang mga paa matapos lumusong sa baha. Sa kalinisan ng bawat isa, nakasalalay ang kaligtasan ng buong komunidad. Ang paalalang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng SMNI.
Fashion icon Lady Gaga turned heads on the streets of Milan with a daring pair of pink Christian Louboutin heels that perfectly matched her chic monochrome look, igniting buzz among fashion lovers. In other showbiz news, Kylie Jenner steps into the world of cinema with her first major acting role in an upcoming film, The Moment. Let's find out more about this with Stella Maurice.
Lady Gaga showcased her signature bold style by stepping out in a pair of avant-garde Louboutin heels from the Mathieu Fical's collection on Saturday. The sculptural pink satin shoes featured a unique curved silhouette, instantly making them the centerpiece of her ensemble. Paired with a rib-knit cardigan with structured shoulders, and a matching midi skirt. Gaga's look channeled a modern Barbie-core vibe with high fashion elegance. Completing the outfit were oversized black sunglasses and her iconic platinum blonde hair. The Mathieu Fical's collection, which made its striking debut on the Paris runway in fall 2025, showcased Christian Louboutin's bold new vision, featuring warped, sci-fi-inspired shapes that redefine the brand's design language. These standout heels exemplify Christian Louboutin's daring creativity and Gaga's fearless approach to fashion, solidifying her status as a trendsetter who effortlessly blends artistic flair with timeless glamour. Still, Lady Gaga's Milan appearance reaffirms her influence as one of the most captivating style icons. Self-made billionaire and reality star Kylie Jenner is set to make a big screen debut in an A24 film about Charli XCX, The Moment. The film, based on an original idea by Charli, follows a rising pop star navigating the pressures of fame while preparing for her first arena tour. Charli XCX also stars in the film and serves as a producer under her Studio 365 label. Directed by Aidan Zamiri, the film's ensemble includes a star-studded cast, while the music for the film will be provided by A.G. Cook. Charli XCX is a British singer, songwriter, and producer known for her unique and innovative approach to pop music. She first gained recognition in 2013 with the global hit single I Love It, a collaboration with Swedish duo Icona Pop. Kylie Jenner, renowned for her reality television career and successful business ventures, has made brief appearances in films before, including a cameo in Ocean's 8. But The Moment marks her first major acting role, signaling a significant career shift and a deeper commitment to entertainment industry. Principal photography for The Moment began in March 2025 in London, with the film scheduled for release in 2026. And that's all for today's Showbiz News. This is Stella Maurice, your citizen correspondent, bringing you the latest showbuzz.
A dazzling fusion of tradition and technology lit up the skies of Taipei as the city marked Taiwan's 114th National Day. Let's find out more about this with Daniela Paulite.
Taipei's skyline came alive in a breathtaking display of color and light on Friday night as fireworks and synchronized drone formations illuminated the area around the iconic Taipei 101 Tower, celebrating Taiwan's 114th National Day with the message of unity and resilience. The spectacular show combined tradition and innovation, featuring hundreds of drones forming glowing messages such as Taiwan and stronger with love together in resilience, while fireworks burst vibrantly across the night sky. Excited spectators captured the stunning performance on their phones, creating a sea of light that mirrored the sky above. Japanese visitors expressed admiration for the creative fusion of modern technology and classic celebration. The event marked Taiwan's 114th National Day, also known as Double 10 Day, commemorating the 1911 Wuchang Uprising, a pivotal moment that led to the fall of the Qing Dynasty and the founding of the Republic of China on January 1st, 1912. This year's celebration highlighted not only Taiwan's rich history, but also its enduring spirit of resilience and togetherness, lighting up the skies and hearts of all who watched. Cherilyn Yanilio, your citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
A week after the magnitude 6.9 earthquake that shocked Cebu on the 30th of September 2025, the SMNI Foundation Inc. delivered bales of groceries, sacks of rice, gallons of clean water, and ready-to-eat meals with rice for 3 straight days to those greatly affected by quake in the communities of Daan Bantayan, San Remigio, and Tabogon in the province of Cebu. The SMNI Foundation Incorporated will also be heading to Mindanao following the magnitude 7.4 earthquake that rocked Davao Oriental on October 11, 2025. If you would like to support the foundation's ongoing mission, you may send your donations via GCash to 0995 0917-284-9117 and 0917-714-1820. And before we end, may you be inspired with the words of the Sun. Guard your mind, soul, and heart that they will remain upright in the sight of God. And as we keep track of the countdown, there's only 73 days left before Christmas. And that's all for this edition of Newsline World. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, I'm Angel Pastor. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.